Alrighty, well, I'm Zach. Uh, this is one of my first videos that I presumably am going to put on a channel if I make one. So, I have a 2005 Kawasaki Vulcan 500. It's the same engine as a Kawasaki Ninja 500. I have it spec'd above that, and I have a Ninja controller for it, aftermarket carbs, Ninja exhaust, Ninja radiator, bunch of stuff. But the aftermarket carbs I have power jets, and these aftermarket carbs, which are on Amazon, I'll provide a link, are actually really amazing. But there's no aftermarket power jets, but they use the stock. They have their own set of main and pilot jets that work perfectly fine. So what I did find out was the PWK main jets, which happen to look like these, end up looking incredibly similar and having the exact same thread as the stock power jet in my car, which is this tiny little bugger right here. As you can see, side by side, pardon the mess everywhere, they actually have the same thread. So what I wanted to do, because the stock power jet is microscopic, as you can see, it's very hard to even get it to focus on the tiny hole. Come on, buddy. There you go. Look at that. See how tiny that hole is? Almost no fuel is added through that little bugger. So I have decided to do my own thing, and these power jets actually have a cap on top of where that jet sits, and these caps are solid, but they look exactly like the main jets, except they don't have a hole in them. So what I decided to do was, for the power jet, since it takes time for fuel to get up to the power jet, since it takes from the float bowl, goes up to the power jet on top of the spigot, so I made a Venturi. I also have check valves that I'm getting in the mail eventually, only God knows when they'll actually show up, that'll keep fuel up at the top of the line. But to make the fuel travel up there quicker in the meantime, I've made the power jet an actual Venturi, which means that instead of having a cap, I have this over the power jet, and then an actual power jet, which I actually just machined one right here. The threads are taped over because that's where I was gripping to machine it. So this is my new, one of my new actual power jets that'll be threaded in. It's much smaller because right now the one I have is actually too rich for my new intake I made. A video coming for that as well, I guess. And yeah, it originally just looked like this. All I did was machine the head flush using my baby lathe. And that is what I'm going to do for you guys right now on this video. Pardon the incredibly long explanation, but again, this is my first one, so here I go. Let's go ahead and get some tape. Make sure this is actually lined up. If I had no view for you guys, that would be boring. There we go. Alright. So now that you guys can see where I'm going to be working, I may end up just cutting that part out, who fucking knows. I'm very lazy though, so I may just throw all my videos on with minor editing, but whatever. So all I'm using is a little bit of electrical tape, and I'm cutting it into thin strips, like so, and taking it and wrapping it on the thread. Nice and tight. Don't want it flying off in the lathe. Okay. Unmachined. Machined. Hopefully I didn't screw up the autofocus by bringing that too close, because Samsung is very weird with that. Nothing like phone recordings. Though they have come a very long way. You can see the mix of plastic, dust, and metal on my lathe. Done all sorts of little projects. Alright, time to get to work. Alrighty. And that, my friends, is a newly machined Nibbi, quote-unquote, PWK style power jet nozzle. There you go, people. Need one, hit me up.